All right, welcome back to another episode of Beginners to Bourbon. So, my name's Ryan. This is my wife Sarah, and we did say in our first video that our dogs might make an appearance because we don't like to lock them out of the room. Because if not, they're just going to scratch on the walls or cry.
And this one's very needy.
And we don't want all that background noise in the back of the videos.
Hang out.
So, we're doing a 4-part series. The first one, if you didn't see our first video, it was 4 Roses Small Batch. And now we're at the Russell's Reserve 10-year. Now, Russell's Reserve 10-year, for us in PA, it does come on the shelf, goes off the shelf, comes back on the shelf. Now, if you go outside of PA, like to Jersey or down in the Maryland, I know at Sables, Nick gets this in pretty regularly, and I always tell my buddies, hey, I'm going down there. Do you need one? Do you need a case? What do you need? So I know markets should have this in stock. So Russell's Reserve 10-year. So what are we talking about? So this is a crafted bourbon by Jimmy and Eddie Russell. You know, it's a father and son collaboration down there, Eddie and Jimmy. And they're hand selected from what I read on their website, like center areas, like center floors or center areas of their rick houses. So this bourbon's going to be aged somewhere in the middle, a multi-story rick house somewhere. That's where they say they're pulling this 10-year from. So obviously it does have dated. Unlike the 4 Roses, there is a age dated statement right on the bottle. 10 years for bourbon. It's got to be at least 2 years. So it's right there. It is 45% alcohol, so that's 90 proof. A lot of these that we're doing are going to be right in that 90 proof area because our goal is to get beginners into the spirit. So we want to go over some low proof offerings like the 80s to 90s, maybe go up to 100. Every once in a while, we'll toss in, something above 100 proof, something uncut, unfiltered, just to give you that kind of review. But we really want to tailor this to people getting into the spirit because that's our goal. I see it on all of our bourbon outlets like, 717 Bourbon Society, PA Bourbon Squad, our Delaware Bourbon Society friends. We love you guys so much. But every once in a while, there's that someone that says, hey, I'm just getting into the spirit. What should I try? And, of course, everybody starts flooding the lists of, try this, try this, try this. Mm-hmm. And depending on what your experience in the spirit is, depending on what your wallet is, you can go mild to wild. And I don't want you to go out and buy Russell's 13 or a Russell's 15, let's say a Russell's 15 for $400 secondary because you can't find it for the MSRP of, I think it was like $250 back in the day when it came out. And then be like, oh man, this is harsh. I don't like it. We want to give you reviews of stuff you can go out, should be readily available, that you can buy any day of the week and either make great mixed drinks with, sip neat, sip on ice, however you want to do it. So we like to go over the nose, the palate, and the finish. We'll rate them. It's 1 through 5 for all of them, so a total score can be 15. Maybe one day we'll get a 15 out of 15. We'll see. I don't know. And then we go into a category like 1 through 4. It's not great. We're probably not going to offer this to our bourbon friends that are trying to get into bourbon. 5 through 10. Hey, yeah, it's good. It's nothing to write home to mom about, but it's something that, for $30, $40, if you wanted to go out and have it or make mixed drinks with it, it's great. And then the great category, I guess I shouldn't use the word great, it's good. So for the great category, 11 through 15, yes, hey, when my buddies come over and they say, I'm just beginning, I like things between 80, 90, maybe 95 proof, I'm going to bring this out, I'm going to give them a sample of this, and I'm going to get their feedback on what they like. Mm-hmm. So, Russell's Reserve, 10-year. Let's pop it open. Look at that. It has a real cork. A lot of people, I prefer actually the ones that do the rubber corks because at some point this little guy is going to degrade and fall in there, and I have a really big thing of things floating in my bourbon. So when I do the uncut, unfiltered bourbons, when I get to the bottom of the thing and I see all the stuff in there, I really have to use my brain to overpower, like, hey, it's fine, it's from the barrel, I've been drinking it anyway, just drink it, because I'll see the stuff in there and I'll be like, I'll get wigged out. But anyway, so let's crack this, we cracked it open, let's get a little bit in our glass to to smell and taste. Is that enough? Might need to give you a little bit more. I did much better pouring in our first video. All right. I can already smell it just coming off the pour. I don't even need to bring my nose up to it. A 10-year. So this is a $45 bottle. So a lot of bourbons, and especially if you watch a lot of reviews, they're going to say it's usually $10 per year. So when you are looking at a 10-year bourbon, you should expect to pay $100. So this is a 10-year for $45. All right, so keep that in mind when you're tasting it, when you're going through all the motions, and we're going to do that as well, because this could be another $50. You know what I mean? There's ones up there, 10 years, that are the true $100 mark. So let's see if this is a value bang for your buck at that price point. So Sarah's got a little jump on me because she already knows the exercise. We're going to dive into our nose. Did you already drink some? I don't know.
Not yet.
Okay,
Not yet. I was waiting for that.
Let's dive into the nose and see what we can get. So it does say for the nose, when I did some research on this, and again, if we say anything that is wrong, incorrect, please comment in the comment section, because I want to be factual. I don't want to pretend like I'm talking out of my butt, because we don't want to do that. We want this to be authentic. We want you to get the right information, because we want you to learn as we're learning, because that's what bourbon's all about. Learning, engaging with friends, engaging in the community, and having a great time sharing the spirit with other people. So the nose, it does say some baking spices. It says creamy vanilla. So not just vanilla, it's creamy vanilla. So you're thinking like a whipped, or maybe like a, I don't know, like maybe like a vanilla frosting when they say creamy. I don't know. That you might get on top of like a like a cupcake.
I smell more of vanilla bean.
Vanilla bean, okay.
Rather than whipped vanilla.
All right, so Sarah's getting vanilla bean. So like I said, it says creamy vanilla. It says caramel. It says there might be some citrus in there. Getting any like lemon, any orange, like citrus?
No.
Okay. It's crazy to go from vanilla to citrus. But, your normal things like the baking spices, the caramel,
you get a little bit of the baking spice.
That's what's going to be in most bourbons. And that's just from the burning of the barrel and everything, coming out. Let me tell you what, our dogs, if you smell the bourbon, they'll turn their nose up, but if you drop a little bit on the floor, they're the first ones lapping it up off the ground. So I'm just going to let you know that. They pretend like they're bourbon snobs, but trust me, they'll lap the stuff off the floor. We do not give our dogs bourbon purposely.
We do not.
I'm just saying what happens between them smelling it and drinking it. And then dark oak. So like a dark oak. So it is aged 10 years, so it is going to breathe in the barrel a lot. It is going to pull a lot of that char out.
Reminds me of what our garage smells like on a hot day.
So she says that because I have 4 bourbon barrels in there.
It really does.
One from Buffalo Trace that was like a regular mash bill. One from Lux Row. And then I just got 2. Buffalo Trace is doing some sort of corn whiskey or corn bourbon coming out. If you go to Cumming Whiskey, if you look up Cumming Whiskey on Facebook, Instagram, they do a great thing of putting up, they go and find labels that are being like sent for what do you call that when you try to get a patent or whatever. So they get a lot of cool labels coming out, and it lets us know what's going to hit the market before we know. That way you're not, oh man, I just went to the store, I missed out on whatever. You can kind of pre-game and see what's coming out. So I do get the spice. I get some baking spice. When I go to the right side, I get the vanilla a little bit. It's crazy how I have to keep reminding myself to open my mouth a little bit, and it does change. Try it. Try breathing with your mouth shut, and then just try opening it, and you're going to get a whole different aroma of flavors. I guarantee it. Yeah, So I don't get the citrus. I do get the oak. I get the vanilla. I get the oak. I really don't get the caramel. I don't get the citrus. All right. Well, it's time to taste. Cheers. So I slowly move it around my mouth because I want to, like I talked about in our first video, Fred Minnick really talks about, there's a little bit of...
There's a bite to that one.
For a 10-year, there is, there is, and this has been open for a little bit, there is a little bit of ethanol flavor, but you do get flavors on top of that. It's not all that.
No, yeah.
I wouldn't say I got too much of a burn. Maybe down here. Not from here to here, but when it's a hit,
I feel it. Yeah,
I felt a little bit down.
Yep, I feel it right now in a way, just right here.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, I didn't get the whole travel, just kind of sitting on top of my belly. I think
it changes the scent again.
Yeah, now that you got some in your mouth, you do bring out some more notes. So definitely sweeter. So the palate on this is supposed to be like rich caramel. Brown sugars. What else did they say in our listing? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Like they said, like dark vanilla beans or something. So like the creamy vanilla. You said
I said vanilla bean is what I
smelled. On the nose. So that might go hand in hand. And then they did say some fruit. I don't know if I get too much fruit off of it yet.
I'm not getting fruit off of it. But you do get a little bit of that vanilla in the flavoring, for sure.
All right, so second sip. I do get more vanilla. Mm-hmm. I get less of that ethanol taste.
Yeah, definitely so that changed. Yep.
It's still there. I think in the background, like like someone background dancing. It's not up front in the spotlight, but it's still there. But yeah, overall, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. Mm-hmm.
So what about the finish? So for me, I think the finish kind of goes away. It's kind of like the first one we had, where
it doesn't stick around long.
Yeah, it's a quick in and out. Mm-hmm. You get the flavors, and it kind of
all you're left with is the slight tingling on your tongue.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah, it doesn't leave much of the flavor left.
All right. Well, now it's time for us to score, and me and Sarah will compare notes to see where we landed. So, usually I have a little bit left, but I drank all mine, so I'm going to steal hers just to get one more.
It's usually what happens at the bar, too.
One more, yeah, one more little sniffer there. I did mine pretty quick. So, you're done as well. So we'll start with you. So what did you rate for the nose out of 5? A 4?
Give it a 4.
So you really liked the nose on this?
Yes.
Okay.
I like the ones that tend to smell, that sweetness, that vanilla, the caramel. I tend to like that. I guess being a baker, I just like that cinnamon.
I mean, you've done that for
I've smelled some that smell like straight
a good portion of your life before the job
gasoline, and I do not want to drink it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So it has to have a nice nose if I'm going to even want to try it.
All right, so I was at a 3. So again, we're kind of one off of each other. And just for me, because I didn't get a ton, like I got, 2 of the notes that they talked about in their tasting profile, but that was all. And again, everyone's going to be different. Everyone's got different smells. Everyone's going to have a different palate. They do say if you can smell really well, you're supposed to be able to taste really well. Well, trust me, I can smell very well. It's been my entire life. I pick up with a lot of things. My wife sees me doing some little nuanced things, and she's like, "What are you smelling?" And I'll be like, "Oh, my hand." Or it's just weird, right? So that's a little fun fact about me. Like I'll be sitting here and I'll be like, and she can tell that like I'm trying to, whatever. But my smell doesn't translate to my palate yet.
No.
So that's what I'm trying to learn and develop, and that's why I'm trying to read a lot of Fred's books, a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of different things. I know we want to get some of the, in his one book, he has a list of things that you should buy, like clove, nutmeg, all this kind of stuff. Leather's in there. I can't tell you the last time I stuck my belt in my mouth and was like, this is leather. However, I do like
the smell of leather.
The smell of leather. So, any of you guys out there with like a Ford F-150 King Ranch on a hot summer day, that is the best vehicle to get in. And just like, it's just like you're a cowboy on a ranch. It smells amazing.
True.
We had a TRX, a Dodge Ram TRX. It had real leather as well. It did get a little of that smell, but not like the King Ranches. Oh my goodness. Amazing. Like, I love the smell of leather. But I can't really tell you that I've really ate a lot of it. So, say that.
Sure.
All right, so what about the palate?
Gave it a 3.
A 3 out of 5 on the palate. I said the same thing. And the reason I said that is because of the ethanol.
Yeah.
There is that flavor in there. And the more you drink it, the more you sip it, I want to say the less it becomes, but it is still a background dancer in the bottle. It's not front runner. It's there, but if it wasn't there, I feel like a lot of more of those flavors would come out and really be something special for a 10-year bottle. Mm-hmm. But remember, this is a 10-year bottle at $45, not $100.
Sure.
So, like a little 6-7, you gotta give and take a little bit, right? What about your finish? What did you get on the finish?
3.
A 3. I went one lower at a 2 for the finish, just because I thought none of those, I don't think any of the flavors really hang around for me. I think we might have missed what the finish was supposed to be. So it says it's supposed to have a medium finish, which I would agree. It doesn't hang around. It's not a long finish. It is a medium finish. So they're saying spice. They're saying toffee. I didn't taste any toffee. I don't know about you.
No, I didn't.
So and they said a lot of oak. I didn't really get a lot of oak either. Okay. And guys, it's just us. I know a lot of people that absolutely love this bottle. They will tell me every time I go to Sables, pick this up for me. I want a bottle. And I say, well, let me get you a case. And they're like, no, I just want a bottle. I'm like, listen, you should just get a case and be done with it. But a lot of people love this bottle. A lot of people love Wild Turkey. A lot of people love Jimmy Russell, all the Russell stuff, and what they do. Sorry, I did mention that our videos, you're going to hear our dogs crying for our attention, barking at somebody else, or just kind of relaxing around. So I gave this, 6, 7, and 8.
I got a 10.
So I had an 8 out of 15. You had a 10 out of 15.
So it's still in that good range.
Yes, so we're right in the good range. You're at the top tier of the good. I'm in the middle tier of the good. So this is something that, someone comes over and say, hey, you want some Russell's 10? And I'm sure, because there's Russell's Reserve, there's single barrels, there's all sorts of stuff from Wild Turkey to the Russell's End that are out there. Mm-hmm. But this is something that I'd say, hey, you want to try this, because there is enough people out there that have different palates than mine that absolutely love and speak highly of this bottle. So I would recommend picking this up. Like I said, $45 for a 10-year, when it could be $100 for a 10-year. I think it is a budget. It's a budget pour for a 10-year bourbon. Yeah, because you're not going to get that in a lot of other places. I mean, I'd say Eagle Rare 10-year, but good luck finding Eagle Rare 10-year, because here in PA, it used to be every 5 weeks we get drops. We're like every 3 now. But if you're not standing in line, and how many of us have jobs where we can just go stand in line at 9 a.m. to purchase Eagle Rare, right? If you're not standing in line when it drops, you're not getting it. It's not there at 3 o'clock when you get off work, or 5 o'clock when you get off work. It barely makes it past 10 a.m., maybe 11 a.m. It is gone, because people love that. It used to be Blanton's. Blanton's used to fly off the shelves, but now it's Eagle Rare. Blanton's, Buffalo Trace, sit, Eagle Rare, gone in seconds. So when you talk about 10-year bourbons at this price point, I think it is bourbon budget friendly pour. All right. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with us, going over Russell's Reserve 10 year, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much.